Hello, artists. Today we're going to make a comic strip about one of these three sacraments: baptism, confession, or communion. Today's project, you'll need a sheet of plain white paper, a pencil, your eraser, and some markers if possible. If you don't have that, that's okay, but it'll make your drawing way more visible if that's the case. Thing about a comic strip is that it's a story. And so it's important that you write your story first. You're going to have 6 cells or sections in your comic book. So you're going to need to write what's going to happen. What's the dialogue or what's going to happen in each one of these sections before you start. Once you have all of the words that you're going to put in your comic strip, then you can start creating the strip itself. Now, for those of you at school, you'll probably be using a Post-it to trace your cells. If you're at home, you can vary your cells by tracing different kinds of objects. For instance, you could use a small calculator. Here's a clipper card you could use for a cell. I have a small box that I could trace, or a can, a water bottle, a candle. Any of those things can be used to create cells on your paper as well. And it makes it very interesting to have a lot of variety. So when you go to draw your cells here, I've got 6. All I did was trace my Post-it. And I used a marker, but you're going to use your pencil first, just in case it kind of goes off and you need to erase, because you can't erase the marker. But you can also add variety to your picture by using your Post-its in different ways. So for instance, I drew my Post-it as a diamond shape. Now I know that if I do that, it's going to take up a little more room than the other Post-its. So I drew that first, and then I can layer this one on top. And when I go to draw, I'm not going to cross this line. I'm just going to draw the outside edge. And then I'm going to stop when I come to the points of my diamond, and that way it overlaps. I'll do the same thing on this side. So I'm stopping at that line, going up, across, and then going up until I hit the line, and then I'm stopping. So that way I have a variety in my cells, and up here I can choose to make 4 going straight across, or maybe I'll make a diamond here. That's kind of up to me and what I want to do with the rest of this. So you can experiment with your Post-it. You could even consider making it in half. All this makes a really small cell. You could still use it. So first, you need your story, then you need to draw your cells, and then you need to draw your comic. And this is my version of communion. And so you can see I used a variety of shapes for my cells. I actually traced my calculator twice, once going this way and once going this way. I use Post-its for these and my candle for the circle. So use that, make variety. Think about close-ups. Like if you're in a movie, you don't always see things far away. Sometimes things are close up, sometimes they're super close up. So this is more like a close up. This is more like a close up. This is farther away. And you can see that I didn't draw all the details, but I drew the shapes of Jesus and the apostle in the background. So you don't always have to fill it with tons of detail, but you should add detail. So when I drew this, after I realized that I drew it, I thought, Jesus breaks bread first and then he talks about the wine, but I drew the wine first and then I drew Jesus. So to correct that, I made the little arrows so the reader would know this is where you're supposed to go. This is the direction I want you to read. So sometimes people make mistakes. It's easy to correct them if you just use a little imagination. I hope you enjoyed this project today. Make sure that you're drawing everything in pencil first so that you can erase your mistakes and then go over it with a black marker if you can. Or if you only have a pencil, make sure that you go over your pencil lines a little darker than and erase the lines that you don't want so that we can really see your comic. So when you're finished, you need to take a picture of your comic and upload it to your religion Google Classroom, not art, but your religion Google Classroom. Have fun with your comics. I look forward to seeing your creations.